Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So today, I thought we would make a page in our little backyard journal. And I have just been prepping, trying to get things ready. And I have just made a mess. So what I thought we would do is make an interactive page on here. And I've just taken a scrap piece of cardstock that I've had for eons. And here, let me show you the pad it came from. This is an old one, and I don't have many pieces left. I don't even know how old it is. It's an old Stamperia spring Botanic, and I think I had two of them, and this is what's left of it. So there's not much left of it, but it's a lovely... it's very lovely. If you can find it, I highly recommend it. Oh, it's from 1995. So, if you can find it, I highly recommend it. But I don't know if you're going to be able to find it. So, if you can, I highly recommend it because it is a very nice paper pad. So, what I did was I took a 12 by 12 and I cut it down to fit my page. I took a piece of it and, I cut it off to fit my page. And then from that, I took another piece. Now this piece of it, this is just a cutoff. It is just a smidge over 3.5 by 12. And I folded that so that it folds within the width of my book, or my page, just my page, okay? And I have little flaps here. Inside these flaps are going this, okay? Now this is the width of my page. So when this opens, it's the width of the page. Now I just folded it in so that it's basically almost half, and it just meets almost to the middle. It's level at the bottom and it's level at the top. It's the same height as the page, well, roughly, and it's just, all the way up and down. I rounded the corners and I rounded these corners and I inked everything. Okay, so this is kind of like a wrapper, I guess you could say, around it, and I'm just trying to decide where I want it. Do I want it more at the top? Do I want it more at the bottom? I don't want it in the middle. But that's my preference. If you make one of these, and I hope you do, I hope you craft along with me, it's totally up to you where you want yours. And I think I kind of want mine more top than middle rather than bottom than middle. Does that make sense? So it's kind of upper, more toward the upper part. No, I don't like that. I think I want it more toward the bottom. Because then anything I put in these pockets can fill up this upper page. Now I chose one of these pages that are naturally brown. So anything I can put in these pockets, I'm going to put on here. Now, because I know what I'm putting in these pockets, and they are not that tall. So I'm going to bring it up. Yeah, I'm going to bring it up. Now, I'm going to hold it in place like this. And I'm just going to grab my art glitter glue here. And I'm just holding it in place. And I'm just putting a little bit of glue right here, behind here, and sticking this down like that. But I'm only doing one side. I'm not doing this side, because this side I want to be able to tuck something in. But I'm just doing this side. Okay? Now that I've got that down, I can pick it up, and on the back I can fold it out flat, and I can go all the way across the back. Now, if you wanted, you could also make this a pocket, but I don't want to do that. And I am just putting glue on here so I can glue it down. Now, it doesn't really need a ton of glue because it's not going to wiggle around. It's not going to move. Of course, I'm going to knock my glue over. It's not really going to have anything like that. But you do need to make sure when it's down, it's down. And I think I've glued it down backwards. I think I wanted that on the outside. But oh well. Too late now, baby. And it's crooked. Oh, mercy me. Oh well. These things happen in Lori Land. Okay. Now, I do want a closure across here. I do want some type of little closure across here. And I have been trying to come up with something to make as a little closure. So I found this little butterfly. This little tiny butterfly. And I think I'm going to try and use it. So I think I'm going to put it, I might put it like this. And then I can just tuck this under like that. But I'm afraid if I keep doing that, I'm going to break off this little patootie. So maybe I won't do that. Maybe I will take, I think I have a piece of this paper left. Or I might have something lighter. Let's see. Do I have a piece of this left? I thought I did. Let me see up here in my stash that's sitting up here someplace. Well, that's green. That's not it. Or I might just use some book page. I thought I did. Or I could just use a circle and cover it with something. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, I think I need one more pocket though. Let me make sure. Okay, so I have my pocket that's going there. This one goes on the inside. That one's going to go there. This one is going to go there. That one is going to go there. So let's close these up so I can count my pockets here. Okay, so, and then I have my tuck that goes under here. So I think I can go on and punch one little piece. It's not going to be too big. Maybe a smaller circle. Let me get my little one. Oh, good gracious. Let's give it a smaller one. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go down here to the flowers. Okay. Oh, yeah. I like that much better. Okay. I think I like that better. So, but I do think I might want to back it with one of these. Like that. But I need to punch this smaller. So, let's put this little thing in here. Whoops. Whoop, come back here. All right, scooch in there. I can't hold on to it. Okay. Well, that didn't work. He's got to stay in there. There we go. Okay, so now let's glue this onto this. And that'll make it a little sturdier. for all the scooching around we're going to do. Now, come on. You are a testy little thing. Well, fine. Be that way. Just be that way. PJ is agreeing with me. Okay. Alrighty. So, do we like that? No, I think I like the green because I think the green will stand out a little bit better. Okay, so now I've just got that little piece of paper that I punched out backed on a piece of the brown cardstock. So let's squish it together. There we go. So it's just squished together. Now I'm going to just ink it up a little bit. Oh, he's not happy with me. I'm not having lunch with him. And then I'm just going to put it here, and that will hold my door closed. But I'm going to let this dry for a minute before I do that. Okay, my closure up here. So I need to put my closure on here and here first because it's going to be, so my pockets are going here and this is closing here. Well, I wanted to use a Velcro closure, but seeing where my pockets are going, I can't do that because my pocket's going to sit there. So what I could do is not glue down the edge of my pocket and just use my pocket, tuck this under my pocket, and use it as my closure. So that is what we're going to do. Okay, so this goes here. So let me make a little mark with my pencil so I know not to go past there with my glue. And I'm going to have to be really careful putting on this glue. Okay, so I'm not going to glue on this edge and up to that pencil mark, okay? Because I want to use, so I want to hold my thumb there. Because I want to use this edge of the pocket as a little tuck. Okay. Now let's put this down. Now I can erase those little pencil marks. That's, you know, not a big deal. Let's wipe that off. Let's get my paper towel here. Oops. Now, for my closure, I can take this and I can just tuck it under my pocket. Just like that. Okay, so after that dries, I'll erase my little pencil marks. So let's open this up and let's go on and put our pockets on the inside here. Let's clean this off. And let's go on and get these pockets in. Oh, that's not the side I wanted. I wanted the green side up. This side goes up. It's a good thing I inked both sides of this paper. There we go. So I have to tell you what happened last night. Let me close this door. No telling what they're barking at. No telling. So last night, so we've been having problems with this little raccoon who has decided my bird food container is her private smorgasbord. So it must be baby time around my house, because I got to watch some fledgling finches being fed by Mama the other day. And so this little raccoon must be taking food back to babies. So, all right, let's put our closure here. So for the last 2 nights, she has gotten into my bird food container and just has made a mess. And my husband has been trying to make it harder and harder and harder for her to open. And I keep saying to him, just put it in the garage. That would just solve the problem. Just put it in the garage. No, I'm not going to do that. It's like, okay, you know how men are. Just put it in the garage. So, he came in last night after working, and it was raining. He said, come here, I need to show you something. And I said, okay. Okay. I don't think that's going to hold that down. That's too heavy. So, he said, this is how I pinched it down. And I said, okay. So he showed me what he did. And he said, now, I don't think she can get this up. I said, okay. So about 9 o'clock last night, we were watching a movie. And all of a sudden, he said, somebody's knocking at the door. And I said, what? I said, I don't hear anybody at the door. He said, don't you hear getting into your bird seat? She was out on the front porch at 9 o'clock last night, getting into the bird seed. And we could hear she was making such a racket. Okay, that's going to need to be glued at the top. Such a racket on the front porch that we could hear. So I went to the front porch, to the front door, and I looked out, and sure enough, there was Mama. She was standing, and boy, she was working hard. She could get that off with her nose, and he had pinched it down pretty hard. And I did not do something right there, because that is not going to hold that closed. She was working pretty hard, and she got that open. Now I want to put this little tag. This is just a fussy cut tag. It's not a real tag. She was working pretty hard on that, and she pushed that thing up, and she just about had her head in it when I turned on the light, which did not faze her in the least bit. And she just about had stuck her head down into the garbage can, it's a metal garbage can with a bale on it. And which was what we were told would, they weren't able to open. Well, somebody forgot to tell this little Mama that, because boy, oh boy, she was working hard, and she did a fine job of getting down into it. For the last 2 nights, she has ripped open 3 brand new bags of birdseed. Now, she keeps them into the garbage can. She keeps them in the garbage can, but she rips them open. And it's like, oh my gosh, you are making such a mess. And that is the wrong side. I do not want it on that side. I want it on this side. She rips them open, and she makes such a mess. There. That's what I wanted on that side. Okay, so now I've got that side glued down for my tuck over there. Now these are some of the little tags that go with this. This is a moth, and these can fit in these little pockets. And in this little, no, that glue's not dry. I can feel it. I don't think it will fit in that tuck though. Now this one of them, I might just attach on the inside. Like maybe just put up there. Like that. Or I might just take this off because it just is not gonna do what I wanted it to do. Let that glue dry and then do something else. Maybe use this. It's just not heavy enough. And then this one of the others can go in here. Now this is a butterfly and that's a snail. Maybe, I don't know which one of these I want with that. That's a little grasshopper. We have little grasshoppers that live outside the front door. Or crickets, or I'm not sure what that is. Now, to close this, remember we're just going to tuck it under. And that's a little spider. I have a little spider already that is living in my garden, taking good care of all the pests. Now, this is a dragonfly. Now, I want one of these inside here. Now, let's check here. See if that's dry enough to tuck in yet. That might be dry enough. It's the top that wasn't dry enough. Now, this is a little bit too long, so I'm going to have to trim it off. Or maybe do some trimming here at the bottom. Let me use my paper cutter. Otherwise, it'll be so crooked. It won't be able to go in. As I can always round the corners again. All right, let's see here. Let's see if that's better. A little bit more here. Let's take off a little bit more. That's better. Okay, so that one will close. Let me get that off of there. That one closes. Okay, so in here, I think I want, do we want that one? I think I like that one better. I think I figured out what he's barking at. I think the trash is picking up. Okay, so I think I want to go on and put this one at the top. Yep, he doesn't get to say hello to his trash man. He's not happy. Okay, now let's put this one up here. I'm just going to lay it down. I'm just gluing it in. I'm not really doing anything special with it. I might glue some ribbon or something at the top. Now this one down here needs to be smaller. So to make it smaller, there's not really any way I can make this smaller. I guess there might be a way. Let's see. Let's see. Now there were a few more of these. Let me see here. Let's see if there's any others that I can trim down Now here's one with a little beetle. Let's see if that little beetle could be made smaller. That little beetle might be able to be made smaller. Let's see. Let me do a real quick fussy cut here on this little tag and see if I can make this one a little bit smaller to fit in there. Although then I really can't keep the top of it. So we might have to adjust the top of it also. We might have to do that. But if we do, we do, huh? All right. Let's see. All right, we might have to, whatever we take off on one side, we'll take off on the other. We'll just round it with our scissors. All right, let's round this now with our scissors. Okay, let's round this. Now, I don't know if this will go in here to round or not. Maybe. 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 Now, let's see how this works. Oh, okay, good. So, let's get a little bit of color on it. Just a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to really schmuck them up too much. Just a little bit of schmucking. Okay, so let's put our little beetle in there. All right, glue, I know you're not all the way dry, but straighten up and play nice. Let me make sure it's not spreading here. There we go. Okay, there's that one. Okay, so now let's close it up. Now, we'll put that other one we had maybe right here. Yeah, I think maybe right there. And then we just have to tuck it under. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll glue this halfway on. I think that might have been the problem. My circle wasn't big enough. This is plenty big. All right, this gets our butterfly on there. Okay. Okay, everything is down. Now, let's get this closed. And we're going to let the glue dry on everything. All right, so there we go. There we have our... There we have everything. So let's get some of this stuff off here. Let's get our table cleaned off so we can see what all we have. Okay, so up here, I didn't put a card up there, did I? Oh, Lord, you silly goose. Well, then let's just do this one. Let's just put this one up there. I thought I did. I wonder what I did with it. What did I do with it? Well, we'll just put the bumblebees up there. Okay, so this one has bumblebees on it. Okay. I don't know what I did with it. Thought for sure it had something in it. Okay, so here's this one. All right, so we have a pocket here. And then we untuck. And we have a pocket over here with a moth. And then we open up here. And we have a pocket here with a little grasshopper or cricket. I'm not really sure what it is. And then here we have a little tuck with a dragonfly. And then we open up in here, and we have a little flower bulb with a little, I think it's supposed to be a little ladybug. And then down here, oh no, don't stick to the glue. We have a little beetle. I think I might need to wait till that glue dries a little bit more. And there we go. I'm going to let that glue dry a little bit more before I put that one in there. There we go. Well, that was fun. And I want to thank you all for joining me today. And we could even put something little over here as a small tuck if we wanted. I think I had a little piece that we could cut and put over there if we wanted to, you know, just as a little tuck to add something fun, you know, like off of this little scrap. You could add a little side tuck over here if you wanted with a little tiny, maybe just something little tiny, like, let me show you what I'm talking about here. Like you could cut. I thought I already did that, but I do not think I cut that straight. But you could just take a little scrap. Let's cut this straight before we put it down. Doesn't have to be anything big, doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just a little side tuck. Something just to decorate this little side of the page here. You know, maybe like that. Maybe cut it off right there. Oops. Put it like that. And just make it a little side tuck, or even cut it off before you get to the green if you wanted. And put it like that. And now you have something there that you can tuck things into and round the corners, so you know that it's like that. And then ink it up so you know that it's different. Or do something smaller, you know, something thinner like this. Like that piece. So, you know, if you don't want to leave a page that doesn't have anything on it. Or you could add it down here. Like that. And have another smaller one on there. Which is normally what I do. I add smaller ones on top of there. So I would cut this piece. I've already cut it someplace. It's just gotten buried. And then I would add it down here to decorate that piece. Here it is. Yeah, see, I already inked it and everything. So now I would add that piece. Oops, I need to round that bottom. Right there. Put that right there. And then when I'm ready, I can put something in there, like another little scrap or something like that, just to decorate it. Come on, you silly goose. I have something else to decorate that page, and that page just doesn't look so naked. or that little pocket, it just doesn't look so naked. It looks like someone's been paying attention to it. Here, like that. There we go. Just like that. There. And you could do that with some of the other pockets also. And then if you have little stickers like these are washi stickers. And I've got snails and plants, and there are mushrooms on here. You could use those to decorate your page, or pages that are around it if you wanted, or just use them throughout your book. Since it's, you know, my backyard type of things, these are all things you're going to find in your backyard. Like here's some little ants. I could use those to decorate my pages because I have ants all through my backyard. Little butterflies, little mushrooms, you know, so just get your stuff out and see what you have some fun. So I want to thank you all for joining me today and having some fun with me and creating this fun little page that, you know, just came out of some scrap paper I happened to find sitting on the shelf. Forgot I had. It's been sitting there for a really, really long time. So you just never know what you're going to have until you all get up out of your chair and go look. So get up out of your chair, you guys. Go look and see what you have because you just never know. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again in our next Ladybug Journals video. Ta-ta for now.